What's up, everybody? Come on in, guys. Say hello. Let me know you're there. I can never get enough of that track. That's the official soundtrack for Game On Live. Gail, I see you. Hi. What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm super excited to talk to you guys about today's topic because it's been coming up more and more and more. So as you guys are coming in, just say, hey, what's up? Let me know you're there. If there's anybody you know that needs to be here, make sure they get this information. Make sure they see it. Because what we're going to talk about today is going to be super, super powerful. And so I just want to grab my notes and jump right into this because I don't want to keep you guys too long. But just a quick reminder that the tickets for Game On Live are selling right now. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Some powerful people are going to be in the room. Some powerful women are going to be in the room. I am so excited about that. We have 30 tickets left. Can you believe that? There's only 30 seats left to Game On Live. So I'll tell you guys how you can get access to that later, but I just wanted to drop that in really quickly and just kind of jump into this. So today we're talking about 5 secrets that will block, 5 secrets we keep. And when I say we, I'm actually mostly talking about women. And I think some guys kind of do this too, but I know women do this a lot. We keep these secrets that we would never utter a word to anyone that we're feeling this way or that our minds are even going there. And they totally block our next level growth and our money flow. And I want to show you today how focusing on the truth will make you focus, fierce, and financially free. You'll be able to hit those next level income goals, revenue goals, sales goals, client goals, life goals much faster, and just with some power. So here's what I know. I have been completely blessed to have the opportunity to travel and speak to women all over the globe and share my message of owning your value with zero apologies. That's something I stand for. And as a matter of fact, I often will tell people that I'm in an all-out war against people not believing and trusting in their value. And sales just happens to be my weapon of choice. So my desire for you is that you own 100% of the value that you bring to the table with zero apologies and that you're not afraid to be compensated for that value. You do that without shame or guilt or fear of judgment of any sort. And so that's what I'm a stand for. And it's crazy to me as I travel the world and speak on this topic, how many women still struggle with it, even when they're super successful. I don't even care if they're millionaires. A lot of the things that I talk about still come up for them. I'll have conversations with people when I'm sponsoring events and they'll say, oh, I don't need a sales coach, or yeah, I'm really good in this area. And then when I take the stage and speak, they're like, oh my freaking God, I really need you. And so I thought it was important for me to bring this message just to Facebook, to the live stream, right? I'm going to bring this message today. And what I'm going to ask you to do is lean in, because when I talk about difficult topics, especially things that we do in secret or that we've been dealing with for so long that we've kind of become numb to it, oftentimes you'll think, oh, this isn't for me. And so the more you start to think, oh, I already know that, I teach my clients this isn't for me, I want you to lean in even more. So grab a pen, and even you might have to take some time after you sit with this, after we're here and we're talking about this, take some time on your own and just kind of journal out what's coming up for you and what you realize, because what I'm sharing, these little secrets that we hold, the secrets we keep for ourselves that we don't tell anybody else, we will never utter a word because it's what we're thinking. They actually block your flow of cash. I'm not saying it's keeping you broke. Some of you guys aren't broke. You guys are extremely successful, but there's a next level that you desire. And these are the things that are in the way. It's not the strategy. It's not the next coach that you need to hire. It's not the new business model, business partner, investors, or any of those things. It's these little secret things. And so we're going to talk about that today. Let me just look and see where you guys are. So I want to dive into this and just really share this with you and how to unblock your money flow today. So grab a pen. We're just going to go straight for it. You guys okay with that? We're going to dive right into this. So secret number one is this. Let me find my little note thingies here. I did a good job. I did this earlier, so I don't have to type it right now. Secret number one is we secretly put people and things on pedestals. You guys know what a pedestal is? It's like, you know, one of those, let's say like an altar, right? We put it up high. We put it like, oh, they're so incredible. They're so amazing. And it's not like we're intentionally doing it, but I want you to understand that anything you put on a pedestal, you are keeping outside of yourself and pushing far away, and you almost make it unachievable for yourself. And so I want to give you some shifts about how to look at things. And I want you to start checking with yourself. Where am I putting people, things, goals, anything we put on pedestals, goals, dreams, even people, success, all of those things that we put on pedestals, we're keeping it far away from ourselves. Success is no respecter of persons. If somebody else can have, you know, a multi-million or billion-dollar deal or opportunity, like I look at Tyler Perry just building his studio, he was sleeping in his car, building Tyler Perry Studios, and he was sleeping in his car just a few short years ago. Success is no respecter of persons, right? When I took things and people off pedestals, because I used to get very, very nervous when I'd be in the room with people that I thought were super successful, almost to the point that I didn't know what to say when I was around them, didn't know how to act, how to hold my hands. It was really weird and awkward. And when I began to take people off pedestals and just put them in my line of sight, and I'm going to give you a way to shift this, more opportunities started coming for me. If you find yourself saying, "Oh, I would love to be on a stage like that," I'd love to be in this kind of group or mastermind, or how come all of these people get together and they teach together and I'm never invited? That's a pedestal. You're looking like, oh, that's so far away from me. You know, I'd love to have a $1 million business or a multi-million-dollar business, or I'd love to put, 500 people through a program, or even 30 people through a program, or 10 people through a program. And that's a deep desire of yours. But when you look at someone who's doing it and you're like, oh, you're so amazing. Oh my gosh, I wish I could be like you one day. That's putting them on a pedestal, and you're pushing that goal outside of yourself and further away. So I want to give you a way to shift this. Okay. Because right now, if you're doing this, you're putting it beyond your reach and beyond your capacity to receive it. I know. Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. So here's the perspective shift when it comes to putting things, goals, and people on pedestals. Okay. Some of you haven't hit 6 figures yet because it's like 6 figures is the elusive blue whale, right? It's the white elephant. It's the, I don't know, name something else, right? Purple unicorn. And so I want you to shift your perspective by doing this. Don't put things on a pedestal like, oh my gosh, one day I'm going to be on a stage like this. What I want you to do is this. Don't look up to people. Right? Stick with me. Don't look up to people. Look at them. Look at them. Right? Don't look up to the goal like, oh my gosh, one day, because one day never comes. Someday never comes. It's always further away from you. Look at it. See the possibility for it for yourself. So don't look up. Look at. Right? If there's someone you admire, look at them, because the reason why you admire them is because some of the qualities that they hold, you likely possess yourself. You do, right? Someone said this the other day. I was in a room. If you spot it, you got it. So I want you to shift. Don't look up. Look at. Same line of sight. See people as your peer in your industry. as opposed to, oh my gosh, they're the guru, they're the shaman, they're the thing. Okay. And again, like I said, these are secret things that we hardly ever talk about. The second secret that I want to give you guys is, which leads me to this, you secretly compare yourself to others. Now, this is not you going around saying, I'm going to put this up real quick. This comparison is not you going around saying, oh my gosh, I wish I was like so-and-so, or she's better than me, or I'm better than her. It just kind of happens. And it could happen when you're looking at your pricing, right? I see this a lot. It's like, okay, if I hire a coach, a mentor, or I'm in a program, and the program that I bought was $1,997, and I'm creating a program, oftentimes I'll find people have this cognitive dissonance inside of them where they feel like, well, if the person I'm learning for is only charging $2,000 for their 8-week program, how dare I charge more than them because they've accomplished so much more? So it's sort of akin to the pedestal, but it's more comparison. And here's what happens when you do that. Even if you look down at somebody and go, well, I know that I'm further along than her, I could charge more than she can. There's a couple of things happening here that are blocking your flow of money. One, you're basing your pricing based on someone else's money mindset, belief systems, stories. They have their own journey and their own crap. And we don't often know what other people are experiencing or going through. And so you don't want to do that. You want to just stand in your power and own your own power. Again, comparison is like judgment as well. So even if you're looking at somebody and you're judging where they are in life, which means you're also judging yourself. You're putting yourself in this pattern of, I'm above this person, I'm below this person. And you don't want to do that. You just want to fully own your power. The truth is, every time you compare yourself to someone, you do put them on a pedestal or you are judging them. Okay. So here's the perspective shift that I want to give you for this one. I want you to ask yourself this question, okay? What would it take for someone else's success to be a source of inspiration and not a trigger that causes you to shrink, play small, or charge little? What would that take? Who would you need to become in order to make that happen? What would it take for you not to assume or assign your own filters or judgments towards other people and just see it for what it is? They are where they are. You are where you are. And where you are is okay. And where they are is okay. And there's all this space of possibility, right? And here's the thing that happens for most people when they're in comparison, especially if you're judging people all the time. A lot of people have problems with selling because they're afraid of being salesy. And so when you see somebody like me who like unabashedly asks for the business every time I come on the live stream, I'm like, buy my stuff, right? Not every time, but I'm just like, this is what it is. Either you're going to take it or leave it. And then you judge that. You begin to say, oh, that person's money hungry, or man, I need to like give more value. And it's a trigger for you. And what happens is you have a hard time having sales conversation or asking for business because somehow you judge that as wrong, right? Or being well compensated as wrong. Like, wow, how can she charge $10,000 for 90 days of work with her? And you have that problem because you don't want to be judged or criticized the same way. And so if we can shift perspective and just allow each person to own their own power and be where they are, not in relationship to you, but it just is. You are where you are. They are where they are. They are charging what they want to charge. They ask for business as often as they want to ask for business. You ask for business in the way that you want to, as often as you want to, and you're unbothered by it. You're unbothered by someone else's way of being in the world. You give yourself permission to play a much bigger game because you're no longer afraid that someone's going to be looking at you that way. Okay? So that's the secret that we hold, is that we're secretly looking to the left and the right, comparing ourselves to other people. You guys ready for number 3? Number 3. Ooh, this one's a deep one. It's deep for me, and it may be for a lot of you, but it's loneliness and you're secretly lonely. You're surrounded by people. There's times, and it still happens to me at times, and I have to go, Shameca, what do you need to do to get outside of this feeling? I could be in a room full of people and feel so very alone because I get focused, right? I'm driven, I'm in my head, and I'm focused on the thing that's right in front of me and the things that I'm doing. And so I have to learn how to open myself up to receive support, love, help, encouragement, friendship, all of those things. And so I know that a lot of business owners, especially women, you're working, you're in community with people, you are going to networking events, but you still look up and you feel so isolated and so alone. And this happens a lot with driven women because of your focus. Okay. And so I want to give you a strategy to break this cycle, because that loneliness actually causes you to go more inside of yourself, and you don't show up as powerfully as you need to show up because of it, because you're dealing with the hurt or the trauma of it, or the thought of it, or the feeling of it, or the emotion of it. And so what you want to do is you want to practice receiving, right? Oftentimes we're alone because we have, I don't know if you guys can see this behind me. It's a sign that says, I got this. So I often struggle from something called I got this syndrome. That's what I call it. And I talk about this all the time. And so I did a message at church and I talked about this I got this syndrome and how I used to want God to bless all of my plans. Like, here's how it's going to go, God. I got this, right? Just bless it. Just breathe on my thing. And they gave me this sign that I always keep there so I can see it. And it says I got this, but at the bottom it says God. And so here's the thing. We have to allow the help. That's actually a sign that our capacity to receive is diminished. We are so focused and driven. We're just trying to get the stuff done. And so we're the women who carry 15 bags on our bags of groceries on our arms. Thank God for Instacart. Don't have to do that anymore. But where your circulation is being cut off, but you're like, no, I got it. You're so used to problem solving. I was a single mom for a long time. I had my first child when I was 16 years old. So I was a single mom for a very long time. And, working things out on my own was just something that I did. I'm the oldest child. So working things out on my own is just what I do. Many of you guys know I did a Tough Mudder earlier this year in April. It's like 10 miles, more like 13 miles. And I will never forget this. Never forget this. I'm in the Tough Mudder and there's a net on the ground. It's hammered with nails on both ends, and it's flat on the ground, and it's in this just pile of mud. And our job was to bear crawl, and I don't know how long it was, right? Let's just call it like 100 feet or something like that, to bear crawl from one end to the other in the mud. Now it's a net. So it's one of those heavy nets with holes and octagons and everything in it. So literally you get in it and your hair is sticking to it, your butt's getting stuck. And so I'm so focused. I'm going, and they said, go backwards. That's easier than going forward. So I heard what they said, and I start going backwards. So I'm going backwards and I'm going backwards, and my eyes are closed and I'm just doing my thing. And I hear Adam, my coach, yelling, because he's there with me. He's the one that got us into this thing. Actually, it was Ron. I hear him yelling, Shameca, use your help. It's making me emotional thinking about it right now. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. How you do one thing is how you do everything, Shameca. Where else are people trying to give you a helping hand? And you're so focused on getting the job done that you don't even recognize the help that's right there. So what was happening on the other side of me that I did not see is Adam was literally standing up, holding the net so that it was easier to crawl and it wasn't touching your body and wasn't getting caught. But I was so focused on just getting to the other side that I missed the help that was there. And I was like, wow, that's deep. So this isn't just about hiring assistants. It's about your capacity to receive. So if your capacity to receive is diminished in allowing people to open a door for you or pay for your lunch or, letting the bellman at the hotel take your bags up to your room because you got it. then your capacity to receive when it comes to allowing your clients or more clients to invest with you is actually diminished as well. You will sabotage yourself on sales conversations by lowering your rates, not asking for the business because you're so used to not receiving. And so here is the shift that I want to give you for this loneliness thing. You are the cure to it. Allow yourself to receive support, love, help. If somebody wants to go to lunch with you, dinner, let them take you. If someone wants to help you with your groceries, allow them to do that. If someone wants to support you, promote your business, don't feel like, oh my gosh, I have to reciprocate. And so I'm not going to do it because I don't have time to right now. All of these little things, we're chopping down our receiving muscles. Yes, use the help that you have around you. Allow yourself to be supported and watch what happens. I have been most of my life very closed off emotionally as well. So if I'm emotionally going through something, I'll tend to be more reserved and more quiet, even when surrounded by people. And people will ask, like, how are you doing? And you'll typically say, I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm fine. Like, allow yourself to be supported. Flex that receiving muscle, work it. Allow people to compliment you and just take it in. Like, yes, I receive that. What you're saying is, I want more of everything to come to me. And then what I want you to do is begin to notice how it lessens your feeling of isolation and loneliness and increases your capacity to receive. All right. So that's the secret loneliness. I know this is super deep for me too. And then I'm going to give you secret number 4. Secret number 4 is shame. And this one is a deep one for me too. Now, you're never going to walk around. That's why these are secrets, right? You're never walking around like, oh, I'm so ashamed that I make so much money, or I'm so ashamed that, I don't want to tell people how much I paid for this, or, how much money is my bank account, or, how much I let my clients, like, people don't say their prices because they're so afraid. So they want to wait to the end of the conversation to say, this is how much it is to work with me. Or we don't charge enough because we're so afraid and ashamed to really own the desire that we want people to pay us $10,000 for our work, right? And so I want to talk about shame because actually this has been a driving force in my life for so long that I want to shine a light on it. I really want to shine a light on this for you. And you may have heard me talk about this before, but this could be shame of being where you are, or guilt for not being in a different place, whether that's you're higher. And so, like, for me, I grew up pretty poor, right? I grew up in the hood. And so when I look at my life now and I look at my revenue and the money in my bank account and all kinds of different things, sometimes I still battle that, like, okay, don't you have to go back and like save the whole entire world and your whole entire family and all of this stuff? And so there's guilt and shame. And it could be for making a lot of money, for charging more money, or for not having what you think you should have till now. No matter what it's related to, it's got to go, right? So like I said, shame has been a recurring theme in my life. If I think about it, I've had body shame for as long as I can remember. Shame about all kinds of things. I used to have really horrible skin. Had shame about that, right? I'll just so many different things. Like, shame has been a strong current, and I didn't realize how it was attached to my ability to make money and receive money until I start believing and owning this belief system, this powerful belief that I have, that how you do one thing is how you do everything. And people can argue with me all they want, but if you're shameful in one area of your life, so if you're ashamed of your body, you're likely have some shame buried somewhere inside of your business as well, especially as it pertains to money, because one of the most things that people are ashamed of is their body, money, and sex, right? Those are the things people are mostly ashamed of. So if you have shame in one area, it likely is seeping over into other areas of your life. Even when my body was incredible, I'll take that body today, I was ashamed of it. Anybody else feel like that? You feel like that? Okay, so when I bought my first pair of Louboutins, and I posted about this, and you can go find the post, I didn't tell a soul. As a matter of fact, I just got another pair. I'm waiting on them to come. But I didn't tell anyone at all that I bought the shoes. I took pictures with them. I sent pictures to my daughter. I think I told a couple of people in my mastermind. I might have posted in my mastermind group, but I didn't tell anyone. And it was because of shame. And there was these voices of like, how dare you spend that amount of money on shoes when there's starving children in Africa? No, really, like that was the thought in my spirit, like in my brain, that was what was going on. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. And here's the thing I realize about shame. Shame will beckon. I'm going to talk about this from my own perspective. Shame beckons me to pretend that I don't make as much money as I actually do. Shame reminds me of how broke I used to be daily. Well, you're doing this now, but remember when? Shame causes me to play. It causes me to play small. It causes me to downplay my accomplishments and the results of my clients. My clients get incredible results. And every time I celebrate, there's a little twinge inside of me. So you guys probably think I'm a bold celebrator. I am, but I'm also fighting this shame of like, why are you talking about how much money your clients make? Even though I know that it's an incredible example for the women who follow me and who desire to have those results as well, I still deal with this. Right. So I'll downplay it. I realized that I hadn't shared anything my clients in the current Play Big Courage container were doing in the last couple of weeks. So I posted a couple of things, but they were doing hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue and we still have 4 weeks left. Right. Shame whispers, you better not ever tell nobody but God. That's my nod to the color purple there. Like shame's like, no, keep that to yourself. No one needs to know that. And what I know is that shame has robbed me of enjoying and celebrating really fulfilling moments in my life, right? I graduated from college late. I didn't walk because I was too busy trying to get to the next degree and the next thing. And I realized that wasn't pride and that wasn't being driven. That was the shame of not having graduated when I was supposed to. So it's like, oh, that wasn't a big deal, right? Some of you guys, have maybe hit your first $10,000 month or $50,000 month or $100,000, whatever you've done, right? Your first client paid in full, but because you're ashamed and you think that you should be further along, you don't tell a soul, and it robs you of the opportunity of celebrating that. Please don't tell anybody I haven't hit 6 figures yet. Which, newsflash, the majority of people in the expert coaching, consultant, personal development space haven't. I don't care what anybody's telling you, and I don't care how many people are teaching, how to hit 6 figures. The majority have not. It's a very small percentage. But because we have shame about our current journey and where we are, we rob ourselves of celebrating very momentous, monumental moments and anchoring in the joy of having accomplished the thing because of this shame. Trust me, I know, I did it. Right? And so if this is you, I want you to just kind of, guys, breathe, right? I want to shine a light on this conversation that you're probably having that you don't even think is affecting your money flow. Okay. And so I want you to make a conscious decision to release shame and all of these things for good in every area of your life. Because like I said, shame in one area will seep into other areas, right? Like, literally having shame about how easy it is for you to make a lot of money, that will pop up. And we can't have that, right? Because if that's your desire, it's okay for you to have it. If the desire is there, the possibility and the way is there, and it's okay. And so today, I want you to choose to come from a completely empowered place, because that's what power players do. And that's what we are. And I want you to reclaim your sense of self and your power and the ownership of how you're moving through life. You take captive those thoughts and begin to shift them. And I'm going to give you a way to do that. I'm going to give you 3 things to do to shift this. And I want you to tell shame and pedestals and all of these things to take several seats in the way back. Okay. So here's the perspective shift for shame. And then I'm going to move on to this, like how to unblock yourself. Okay. The perspective shift for shame is this. I want you to celebrate you. I want you to celebrate your wins. I want you to get vocal about it. This is one of the hardest things that I have to get my clients to begin to do to open up their capacity to receive is to actually freaking celebrate their wins. It's why I celebrate them publicly, right? And then they get to the point where they're messaging me. They're like, that wasn't $76,000. It was $176,000. I need my credit, right? It changes everything about them. They're like, yeah, celebrate me. We even have these crazy, I have a bunch of crazy things. I'm going to show you some of the things I use because I want to get rid of this shame. I use clappers with my clients. We literally use these things. I have my little hands here where we just celebrate the heck out of ourselves for everything that we do because it's been conditioned inside of us. Like if you have something, then it's taking away something from somebody else, right? If you're celebrating a win, what about all the people who don't have? I can't remember. Oh, it might have been last Christmas. I saw so many posts at Christmas time where people who love Christmas were like celebrating Christmas. And then there were all these people that were like, well, what about the people who lost loved ones at Christmas? And that's like, that doesn't take anything away from them. And so we have this beat inside of us that, you know, if we talk about the fact that we just hit $1 million in revenue in our business, you know, that's going to make somebody who hasn't hit $1 million feel bad about themselves. And I'm like, no, how about we look at it differently, that you become a lighthouse, you become a beacon for those people, and you can just boldly, like you've earned the right. You have earned every step of getting where you want to go. I look at my life and I look at what I've been through, and every time I've tried again and failed, and every time I've had to say yes to myself over and over and over again, even though it looked like the way wasn't present, that has been a journey. And so as I look over my life right now and I'm living the prayers that I was praying way back then, you better believe I'm celebrating every freaking step of the way because there's more to come. And I want my body and my mind and my spirit and my soul to feel that there's more. This is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not a horrible thing. I'm not waiting on the other shoe to drop. I'm expecting, right? I'm increasing my capacity to receive. So celebrate you. I want to celebrate you. So I want you to think, and if you want me to help, if you want me to celebrate you, I want you to type it in chat. What are you celebrating that you've been keeping to yourself today? What have you been keeping to yourself that you want to be celebrated for? Because I want to celebrate you because you're doing the thing, right? I want to use my clappers, right? So allow yourself to be celebrated, but celebrate yourself, right? Get a massage, do the things that you love to do. So many times I watch driven women hit goals and they move right on to the next thing without ever stopping to anchor into their body the fact that they actually already accomplished a goal that they had set out to accomplish. All right. It's going to take a minute for those to catch up in the chat. So as we're doing that, I'm going to move to this next part, and I want to give you 3 steps to unblock yourself because it's you. You are the block, right? And a lot of these secret conversations are what is causing the block to your cash flow. You know, when I look at why I'm not yet at millions of dollars in revenue, I'm like, okay, Shameca, there's more, there's a deeper layer in these secret spaces in your becoming that you have to release and step into in order for you to be able to have a container that has the capacity to receive what it is you desire, including the type of clients and the number of clients. And the same is true for you. Okay. All right. I'm going to do some celebrations really quick. So Marsha said, I'm going to put this up. Let me take this away and we're going to celebrate some wins really quick. She's hosting her first real webinar in 2 weeks. Woo! Congratulations. 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 Yay. I wish I could do my ears. That's probably really loud to you guys, isn't it? Here's another one. Amanda said, I got invited to share about my nonprofit Liberated Sisters radio show in LA. Yay! Hope you're dancing and celebrating yourself. The other thing is we get uncomfortable when we're being celebrated. Like, just receive it. Like, I want more of this. More, please. Yes, please. Of course, this is happening for me. As my friend Maru would say, I have 9 new clients and all are referrals. Woo-hoo! Congratulations, Terry. Woo-hoo! Learn how to dance. Go, Terry. Go, Terry. All right, let me see what else is coming through. All right, I'm pretty sure some more are going to pop up. Oh, there we go. I attended an event. Oh, let me put it. Here we go. I attended an event and made a connection to speak at the college where they work. Yay! And I love that Keisha is like celebrating with everybody every step of the way. Marsha, that's what I'm talking about. Do you see how good that feels? Like, allow yourself to be celebrated and to celebrate others, right? What we're saying is, wow, that's possible for me. There's no shame in accomplishing the things that you want to accomplish, right? Even if it's not like where you want to be right now, celebrate every small step along the way. It doesn't always have to be a knock it out of the park win to celebrate. That's shame. That's where shame steeps in. You guys see, I'm getting all super excited about this. Let me see. This is Rebecca. I'm celebrating launching a self-development business 2 months ago. Woo! Welcome to the business world. Woo-hoo! I love doing this. It's so much fun. Okay. All right. It is really fun for me to celebrate everybody. All right. So I'm going to move on, guys. I'm going to give you these 3 steps to unblock yourself. Are you ready? 3 steps to unblock yourself. And I want to tell you too, that if you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and pop your celebrations in. I'll come back to celebrate your win with you, because that's just how gangster I am about this. All right. Ashley said, I went live 5 days in a row last week. Wow, girl, you go. All right. You guys ready for these 3 blocks to unblock yourself? 3 steps to unblock yourself. Whew. Okay. So I want to show you how to go from like closed off to receiving money to actually allowing more money flow in your life rapidly. Like I'm always talking about collapsing time. This is one of the ways that you do it. Right? You're blocking yourself with these secret conversations. How do you begin to unblock yourself and expand your belief and your capacity to receive more money now, today? Okay. So the first step in this process is you have to acknowledge where you are. Acknowledge where you are. There has to be some truth telling. So often we pretend like we're further along. I remember having a client who was asking me, like, do I want to tell them that I only have 3 spots available? You know, and what if I keep saying that? Then they're going to know I don't have clients. And I laughed and I said, well, do you have clients? And she was like, no. I'm like, well, that's the truth, right? You don't have clients. So if they believe that, they would just be believing the truth. It's not a big deal. But because we are like, so like, we want to look so professional, we want to look ahead of the game, we don't tell the truth about where we are, right? Likewise, for those of you who are experiencing success, you don't tell the truth about where you are. You don't tell the truth about your desires. Like, I had to get really clear with myself that I did want to have a multi-million-dollar business. It was never going to come until I did. So the first thing you have to do is you have to tell the truth about where you currently are. Truth, 100% truth. All right. That's step 1. Step 2, get a realization for where that's taking you. Is where you are where you want to be, right? Is it a step to where you're trying to go? Or is it taking you to the exact opposite? And what I mean by this, remember when I said I had become numb? Like for a long time, I became numb to not succeeding in my business. I would just wake up every day and work, and it was no big deal for me to not have a sales call for a month or 2, or to not have a client for months at a time. It was just what I did. And I was so used to just surviving and being in struggle mode and trying to get out of it that I wasn't really paying attention. I was numb to like how painful it was for me to be there. And so I had to like get into reality about if where I was where I wanted to be, and turn up the volume on the frustration and the cost of me remaining the same, or the cost of my future if nothing changed. So I often will tell the story about smoke detectors and how if we need to change the battery in a smoke detector, right, we'll hear it at first. And if we forget about it over time, your brain filters it out like, It's no big deal. It's not an emergency anymore. The house is not on fire. She doesn't really need that. It's not an indication of anything. So you don't even hear it. And you may forget about it until someone else comes along and says, what the heck is that noise? And then you're like, oh, I need to change the battery to my smoke detector. Anybody ever have that happen before? I know I have. Okay. So this is what's happening in your life when it comes to the results in your business. You're in a comfort zone. You're in a space like it. You don't want to be where you are. You want more, right? You want to play a bigger game. You know, you're not accomplishing anywhere near what you're capable of, but you've just gotten in this habit of waking up and doing the same thing every day. And we become numb to the fact that this isn't where we want to be. And so you want to wake up to that and really get in reality about what the cost is. Because for a lot of you, it's like the thing, you get on a sales call and you slash your rates, right? Because you have these tendencies, right? Now you can be at choice. Do I want this? Do I want to continue to get on sales calls and not make an offer? Do I want to continue to get on sales calls, panic, and then slash what I say I want to charge? Do I want to continue to allow people to not pay me every month, and still work for them? There's all these things that are going on that are keeping you where you are when it comes to cash flow as it pertains to sales, which is what I teach, right? Not being consistent on social media, not making offers ever. You're just giving value and giving value. When you wake up to like how that's keeping you where you are and the pain of that and the cost of actually, if I were to continue to go down this road doing exactly what I've done all this year, what is it going to get me? Right? You have to recognize, I had to recognize my own default patterns and then interrupt them and do something different. So you have to decide and declare that. Decide this is not the future that you want once you realize that, and declare that you're going to give it everything you've got. You're going to disrupt that pattern. You're going to do different. You're going to be different so you can have different. Okay. So I'm going to give you those again. Acknowledge where you are, realize where it's taking you, get out of default mode, right? Wake up to the cost of it, and then decide and declare that it's not what you want. This isn't like oh, this is a revolution. I'm doing something different, because people talk all the time. A decision means you cut off all other options. When you decide, there is no other alternative, right? So decide this is not what you want and declare that you're giving it all that you want. And what you're doing is you're deciding and declaring with your action. You are deciding and declaring with your action. Okay? All right. So you guys got that? So that's it. Like, these are the secret conversations and then the way for you to begin to unblock yourself. I gave you some perspective shifts for each one, as well as if you really want to unblock your money flow and you really want to shift who you're being in the world, use these 3 steps every time, right? Wake up to what it's really costing you. Acknowledge where you are, tell the truth about it, and then decide and declare. And we decide and declare not with our mouth, but with our actions. Actions speak louder than words. Just remember that over and over and over again. All right. So the last thing that I want to do, because I said I was going to talk about this, is I want to invite you guys to Game On Live, which is coming up. Now, here's the deal. If you've been to the event page, if you're meant to be in the room, get your butt in the room. Like for me, like I said, we only have 30 seats left. It's not a matter of, please come to Game On Live event. It's me giving you these opportunities to step through to what you desire and what you want. Game On Live is about you embodying your next level, right? Not only embodying it, it's like, who do you need to become in order for you to reach that next level threshold of income, leadership, of being in your life, so that you can increase your capacity to receive exactly what it is that you want to have. And not only embodying it, but walking in full freaking ownership of that. That's why it's called Game On, baby. Because that's what we're saying. I'm willing to take this head on. Okay. So Game On Live event is where you will go to register. I think the countdown timer stopped because I had a conversation with Paula, and I decided to extend the early bird rate until the 20th, which is, I don't know, let me look. Sunday. So you can still get the early bird rate until Sunday for Game On Live. It is November 6th, 7th, and 8th. And it's not an event. This is a war cry. This is a call to arms. This is about you shifting your life in ways you never even really dreamed possible. It's about you believing in the possibility of more. Like I said, right now, I'm currently living the things I used to pray for. It's kind of crazy, right? But we're going to go much deeper into this theory of collapsing time and expanding your capacity to receive, and just really uprooting and removing all the things that is in the way to you receiving more money faster in your business, and you receiving more of the things that you desire in your life. Changing your relationship to $100,000 or $500,000 or $1 million, so that it's not on a pedestal and it's not far away from you, and you really become the kind of person who can actually have what it is that you want, and you're not playing small, like, well, if I could just do 50K this year, because that's all your belief will allow you to hold in this moment. I want to blow that story up. Okay. For some of you, it's going to be about creating your highest end offer. And how do you convey the value of that offer or package so that you know how to sell it, that you have people who show up who want to experience it, don't bat an eyelash at paying you for it, all of those things. And where do you connect and find clients? And what's a conversation that leads someone to saying yes and paying in full, like at $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 or more? And here's the deal about that. It is a very different conversation. It's not the same conversation I would have with someone for a $500 offer. And so I want to take you through that so that you leave with the tools to not only embody your next level, but you have the step-by-step strategy to make it a reality for yourself. So that's what we're doing on Game On Live. And then I'm going to celebrate my own freaking self, because my coach caught me not doing this the other day. I'm going to do it with both of these. VIP is officially sold out. So we don't even have VIP seats left. We have 30 seats for general registration and general seating. It's going to be incredible and amazing. And if you want to blow the roof off what's possible for you for 2020 and moving forward, and you want to do it in a space with a group of badass entrepreneurs who believe in the possibility of more, when there's that collective thought, belief, and working towards a goal, that's when like everything blows up. That's why I create my containers in my business the way that I do, because we all expand with each other. It's incredible. So go to the page, gameonliveevent.com, and I'm going to do something. And I'm going to do it for, I've done this on every video. I'm going to do this for the next 24 hours. I'm going to do two things. If you're ready to go to Game On Live, go to the page, make sure this is for you. So today is October 15th. So by this time, let's say 1:30 tomorrow, these will be gone. Okay. Message me, and I'm going to give you a special code that's even going to save you more off the early bird price. And I want to gift you something. Okay. I want to gift you something. I'm going to give you one of my courses that I don't sell. So you guys know I don't sell small packages. I actually put everything into Supernova Sales School. And for those of you guys who are students of Sales School, you know the content in there is legit, right? I have one of the most badass membership courses out there, and I know it. People come into my membership and they're able to do tens of thousands of dollars in revenue when they were struggling before. And so I want to pull out one of those courses and gift it to you so that you can even start to make money before you even get to the event. So message me in my Facebook Messenger and just say Game On, and then I will shoot you the link to register for Game On Live, only for the next 24 hours. Okay, so 1:30 on October 16th, this offer is gone, right? And I will only do it for the first, I'm going to say 5 people. Okay, so at that point, we'll be at 25 seats. You guys are amazing. They're like, Sales School is the best. Ask us about it. All right. So shoot me a message if that's you. If you're watching after that, just go to the event page and get registered. Get registered. It's incredible, right? What I'm creating for these next 3 days. I can't share everything because a lot of it is a secret. But if you want a breakthrough in your life and in your business, you don't want to not be in the room. That's all I'm going to say. I know you guys are used to going to events and they're like, you know, you're hype, you leave there, you're excited, all of that stuff. This ain't that. If you want to go somewhere and you don't want to get content that you can actually use, you're going to be working on your business while you're there. It's going to be more workshop style. That's the way that I roll. Even when I speak on stages, it's workshop style. If you ever see me speak at an event, I don't just get up and talk to you. I workshop it because there's something that happens when you hit pen to paper where it just sinks in, right? And I want you to be able to leave already having made changes in your business that will affect your cash flow for the better and who you're being in the world for the better. So that's it. I hope you got a lot out of this. Like I said, make sure the people who need to hear what I share today, they get it. You know, share it. You can tag people, whatever you need to do. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but I have a hard time not saying it because I think this conversation is super important. I think it's incredibly important for women in business to start to tell the truth about this mind chatter that we have and stop just doing mindless journaling and mindset work and really just get into reality about how we're stopping ourselves. But we can't do that if we don't have these kind of conversations. This is the work that I do. Okay. This is the work that I do. All right, guys, it's been incredible. Oh, two things. One, I'll be back next week with another training, because I'm doing this all the way up to Game On Live every Tuesday, 12:30 Pacific. And we are putting together a one-day series for you where I'm interviewing some of the baddest players in the game. It's called Raise Your Game. It's going to be October 30th. Mark your calendars for that. I'm going to start sending out things and promoting it. I want you guys to be there, and you'll be able to watch recordings as well. But we're going to be talking about how did they become who they are? Right? And these may be some people that you might know that you have put on pedestals before. How did they become who they are? What did they have to accomplish? And some of them will be speaking at Game On Live, so we'll be sharing how they're going to be going deep at Game On Live with the strategies that they're going to be teaching. All right, so be on the lookout for that. I will see you guys next week. And if you're coming to Game On Live, I'll see you next month. Mwah. Bye. Thank you so much for watching my show, my channel. Here's what I want you to do. If you really love what you've been listening to, I want you to subscribe to my channel and leave me a comment. No, really, leave a comment. Like right now. I'm not gonna stop talking until you leave a comment. Seriously, leave a comment.